Սիրիահայության օժանդակության միացյալ մարմինը ներկայացնում է հանուն Քեսապի փրկության բարեգործական համերգ ապրիլի 29-ին Ալեքս թատրոնում։ Սիրիահայությանը իրենց արվեստով այդ օրը հովանավորում են համերգին մասնակից բոլոր արվեստագետները։ Մեր ներկայությամբ սատար կանգնենք հայոց բնօրրանից տեղահանված Քեսապի հայությանը։ Հայը պետք է վերադառնա իր դարավոր հողը։ Հայը պետք է հավերժ բնակվի իր պապենական հողի վրա։ Հանուն Քեսապի ապրիլի 29-ին երեկոյան ժամը 7-ին Ալեքս թատրոն։ Գլխավոր հովանավոր Գլենդել Քիա։
Հոմի արևմտյան շրջանի 3-օրյա 30-ամյակի հանդիսությունները պիտի սկսին ուրբաթ մայիս 2-ին Թաղլյան համալիրեն ներս ճաշկերույթով մը։ Մասնակցությամբ Գլենդելի Սենեգային նվագախումբին մայստրո Միքայել Ավետիսյանի ղեկավարությամբ։ Միացեք մեզի տեսնելու հոմի ծառայական դարաձուն աշխատանքները, տեղական շրջանակներեն մինչև Հայաստան, Արցախ, Ջավախ և Սուրիա։ Շաբաթ մայիս 3-ին Գլենդելի Հիլթոն բանթոգեններս տեղի պիտի ունենա հոմի սերունդները լիազորելով հզորացնելու սեմինարը։ Բարեփոխվող աշխարհի մեջ հայկականության հարմարումը պիտի ներկայացնեն Ալիս Պետրոսյան և Ռոքսան Մակաշյան։ Իրենց հայկական արմատները որոնելու մասին պիտի զեկուցեն Անա Թուրքատ և դոկտոր Քրիս Սասունի։ Իսկ անձնական գոյատևման պայքարի մասին պիտի զեկուցեն Սինթիա Քելիան, Սոնա Արաբյան և դոկտոր Հայգուշ Քալինյան։ Գիրագի հաջելի օրը անցուցեք Ծովեզերյա Լոնգ Բիչի մեջ։ Ապահովեցեք ձեր դեղերը։
Hello and welcome to Lights on LA. I'm your host, Louise Gill. This evening, before I introduce a very special guest, I would like to mention again that on April 29th at Alex Theater, we will be having a performance, a benefit concert for High Aid 3 to save Kesab. Numerous performers, dance groups are going to be attending and participating and giving their time and effort and their talent to us. And I hope that everyone will take the time on Tuesday evening, Alex Theater. Please attend. It's a wonderful way to show that we are one, united, and it will be a good way of giving back and showing our community that we are one. This evening, my guest is someone that is, first of all, an organization that is very dear to me, especially to myself. And I have with me the chairwoman, a lady who is very instrumental, an activist, someone that has been involved in so many organizations. Every event that I go, she has a hands-on. Nana Bozoyan, thank you very much for being on my show.
Thank you for inviting me.
She is the Western Region chairperson for the Armenian Relief Society, which is an organization that is 100 years old, celebrating in the Western region 30 years.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And when I said dear to my heart, I truly meant it. And I do have to say the reason why I truly meant it. When my mom was involved with the Armenian National Committee to Aid Homeless Armenians, ANSHA, they've worked very close with ARS. And ARS has always been very instrumental with any help with the Armenians in many parts. Social work, the extra programs that you have that we're going to be talking a little bit about.
Yes.
Because not a lot of people know what you do. I know that you have places all over Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area. However, they don't really know. But I do know one thing, that every single person that comes to either Glendale or Hollywood definitely visits Armenian Relief Society one way or the other.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the organization.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for being there to the community. I want to advocate about the concert that you're organizing, Louise is organizing, initiating.
We are all organizing.
But you started it, and you're initiating the concert, which we're very thankful for your efforts as well, for inviting me. The Armenian Relief Society is a 104-year-old organization. We started initially in 1910, established in New York. It's an American Armenian organization, but in the Western region, we were created in 1984 by a handful of members who saw a large immigrants from the Middle East and from Armenia, and the membership grew, and we saw the necessity to create a region, and that's why 30 years ago we created the Western region. and we're going to celebrate this year. And I want to talk about the organization and what we do. Actually, a lot of people have heard about the organization, but not what we do. They know that we have many chapters in each region, and we do meetings, and we do...
That's true, the meetings.
Yeah, we do meetings, and we do a Mother Day celebration, we do a fashion show, but we as an organization, we do much more. We have 5 social service centers in Glendale, in North Hollywood, in Montebello, and in Pasadena. And the mission of the organization is to help the needy, is to serve the community. And when we were created to help the orphans of the genocide. And after 100 years, and what's happening nowadays in Syria, it is very surreal, because when we started the organization, we were giving food to the orphans and to the survivors. And after 100 years and the war that's happening now, again, we are forced to give food and to give shelters. And we don't want to say that history repeating itself, but somehow it is. And what's happening in Kesab, lately, a month ago, hit home, because my mother is from Kesab, and a lot of Kesabtis, and not only Kesabtis, because it's the last remnant of Cilicia. And we don't consider it part of the diaspora. We consider Kesab to be part of Armenia. And that's why the whole community came together to help the Syrian Armenians. The Armenian Relief Society has youth, family, and child psychological center. We have a mentorship program. And a lot of community members who cannot afford to go and see a psychiatrist, we offer them free counseling service.
Wonderful.
And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of grants, and we rely on the membership, and we rely on the community members to help us out.
I was just going to ask you, what are your challenges that you face?
Yes.
Because I'm sure it's a lot.
It's a lot. We have 26 chapters across the Western region. And the membership, we have 1,400 members. And they do their utmost to help the organization, to help the needy. And our programs are not only local programs, we have international programs. We aid the orphan fund. During the Qarabağ war, we had a lot of orphans that are now grown, and they're going to colleges. So we have the college fund for them, for the orphans. And we, after the earthquake, we had funds, and we allocated a lot of funds there. So anytime that there is a calamity that hits the Armenian community, the Armenian Relief Society initiates. And when the war broke in Syria in 2011,
I believe you were the first ones.
We were one of the organizations that initiated help. And we are part of the Syrian Armenian Relief Fund, the SARF.
Right.
And we do our utmost to bring all the funds together, to bring all our, not only the funds, our social and the need of the community together, and to give back to the community, and to give back to the people, because we are for the people, with the people.
That's very true. And you have always been. I mean, I know that the social service was very instrumental. Mm-hmm. I know every single person that used to come to Glendale, they always say, who could I go to for help? And it was always the Armenian Relief Society that was the first person that you would actually go to.
Yes.
And I know that you have numerous programs. I know that there was a domestic violence program.
Yes.
I know that you had Catholic Charities involved with the immigration processing of citizenship.
Social services, we deal with that. We have grants that the cities, the counties give us some grants in order for us to integrate the immigrant population into everyday life in the American society. We teach them English classes. If you visit, anybody who visits our center during the day, they will see more than 80 elders learning English.
How nice.
And it's very great to see those elders who come and knock on our door just for translation. Even if they have a letter, they come to us and they tell us to translate it to them. And we do more than a job. It's a way of life.
No, you have a lot of compassion. I have to
Yes.
admit, I know that there was a lady that used to come to visit my mom, and she goes, I just went to the Armenian Relief Society. And my mom said, for what? Goes, Namak unetsa, chikitsa inche, katsi Armenian Relief Society in the Viv, or mekat gavta, he translates in it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously?
And we do that. A lot of people come to us for any need, and we cater to them because we're more than a business. We're more than an agency, and that's what differentiates us from other local agencies.
Let's talk a little bit about, I know that we're going to talk about your empowerment, which I really want to discuss that because it is something that, besides the gala, you're having a wonderful seminar. But before we get to that, we were talking a little bit about the challenges. What are those challenges, if you could say? I know it's financial because I know that the government has given grants, but it's not enough, of course.
It's not enough, yes.
Or the amount of things that you do and what you want to do. And I know that you have many programs that you have initiated that you want to continue doing.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there is a certain point.
Yes. And, there are many issues that in the Armenian community we don't discuss. DV is such a case, domestic violence. We don't discuss that, but because of the issue is so big, we have to have the power to talk about it and to create programs. Sure. Other agencies have created programs, but there is no trust. We have the trust, but we don't have the funding. And when a battered woman comes to us and we don't have a shelter, we refer her to another shelter, and they can't stand a chance of surviving in that shelter because of cultural issues and because of language barriers, and they prefer to go back to the batterer. So the need to have a domestic violence shelter is huge. But of course, we need funding for that. That's a great challenge. That's a big challenge. And this year, and actually last year, we had a lot of homeless families that we didn't have. We Armenians, we're proud people. We don't usually say that, we're homeless. But we had many instances that family members, not only one or two, family members were on the streets, and we had to take care of them. And that's another challenge, that we need temporary shelters, emergency temporary shelters for homeless families.
Now, the solution would be obviously the funding. Now, is that through your fundraising that you do? Is that through membership for you to get more members? Or do you just, would like to do...
For our programs, the existing programs, we do that through fundraising on a regional level and on a membership level. We rely on our members. But for something like this, a huge project, we cannot rely on the membership.
Right.
We cannot do a meeting and create a shelter. We have to get funding from city, state, federal agencies. And we have to start a program to apply for or to create a partnership with other agencies to open a shelter. So this is something in the works, and we'll see where we can go, and we rely on the community to help us out.
Well, I'm sure that the community very much has a lot of respect to the Armenian Relief Society. I know from past experience, very close, and like I said to you at an earlier event, if there's anything that I personally could do, you know, that I will definitely be there for the Armenian Relief Society, because it has always been there and was always an organization that ever since childhood I remembered Armenian Relief Society, and you worked very close. And of course, like you said, you've been respected and the trust has always been there.
Yes.
You've never let people down.
Yes.
And that was one thing, whether it was people that would come new and they would look for a job, they would come to the Armenian Relief Society.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of people have gained a lot through the Armenian
Yes.
Relief Society. So that is
They
something
knew
that
about our organization before they landed. They usually come from the airport to the Armenian Relief Society. They call it home. We're called the Armenian Relief Society, but in Armenian we call it home. Հայօգնության միություն. So it is home. They consider
well, that's
it,
what my mom used to call it,
Yeah.
home. And I go, Mom, your home is in, you know, what do you mean? And she was referring to the Armenian Relief Society. Let's talk a little bit about the gala. Let's talk a little
Yes.
bit about, I'm really impressed with your speakers, and I really want you to mention those two speakers that you mentioned earlier. You're doing a gala, which is the 30th anniversary. It's going to be at the Tagliam Banquet Hall. It's going to be on May 2nd at 7 p.m. Friday evening. And Saturday, you're having an Empowerment Generation Seminar.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the seminar?
Yes. So the mission of the seminar, or the thought of the seminar, is to empower generations. It's called ARS Empowering Generations. And we're having 2 panels and 2 speakers. The first panel is, the title of the panel is Armenianism. Is it a burden, cultural burden, or national duty?
Oh,
It's
wow.
a very provocative, it's a very thought-provocative subjects, and we have great speakers who are going to talk about that. And the second panel is about personal journeys, cancer survivors, a doctor, PhD doctor with who had vision loss, who's a brain doctor right now. She's going to talk about her journey, personal journey.
Wow.
And our 2 main speakers, one is Anna Aslatsadurian Turkat, who was a refugee from Baku when the Karabakh War broke. She was 10 years old when she came to America. Now she's a writer and she's an activist. Every time that the Azerbaijanis try to introduce a bill to advocate for their cause, she goes and defeats it.
Wow.
And she's a great writer who's going to come here to empower us. And the second speaker is the grandson of one of our heroes, Garo Sassouni, and one of our founding members, the ARS founding members, Leola Sassouni. Dr. Chris Sassouni is going to come here. He has discovered his roots.
That's amazing.
And he's going to advocate and talk about his grandparents, and especially about his grandma and what
Which
she has
he never
done.
knew.
Which he never knew. I mean, it's a great. I'm looking forward for his speech, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to attend. It's a free seminar. It's going to be held on Saturday, May 3rd at the Glendale Hilton.
Wonderful.
I would advise your viewers to attend.
Please do.
10 to 4, and it's hopefully it's going to be something more than the relief efforts. The whole idea is that ARS as an organization has become more than a relief organization. It is empowering generations.
Wonderful.
That will continue and carry on the torch of our members.
And you also have an event on May 4th. It's
Yes.
going to be at Long Beach.
At Long Beach. We're going to conclude our celebrations at a brunch in Long Beach.
That's a very nice one.
Yes.
Beachside. I like that.
Yes.
Beachside lunch.
Yes, you're invited.
Thank you. I'll take the beachside.
Okay.
If there is anyone that wants tickets, or do they need to make reservations? Could they
Yes,
just come?
of course.
How do you want?
They can contact our office, 818-500-1343, and they can reserve their seats. It's $125 per ticket, and there are sponsorship
That's for the gala.
levels for the gala, but the seminar is free.
Okay. And the beachside lunch, you need to make reservations
yes,
also?
It's $75. They need to contact our offices as well and make reservations.
Are there any other things that Armenian Relief Society has in the upcoming months or this year that you plan on
Actually,
proposing?
we're going to Washington, D.C. as part of our educational mission. We have committees. We have fundraising committee, we have educational committee, and we have school board, Armenian Saturday school board. And let me talk about the Armenian Saturday schools. One of our main mission is the Haya Bahbanum, Armenianism, to keep our culture alive. And not a lot of people can send their kids, their children, to private Armenian schools. So the need to learn Armenian and to instill the culture and the religion is a necessity. So we have now 15 Saturday schools.
Wonderful.
And if you attend any of their functions, you will be amazed of how much they have learned, the language, the dances, the songs, our culture.
Wonderful.
And this is by attending 3 hours each week. And anyone who can't afford to send their kids.
Is there an age group?
It's from 4 to 14, 15. And if they cannot afford to pay the $200...
Too bad I can't go.
The chapters can sponsor the $200 because it's $200 per year to send their kids to the Saturday schools.
Well, it is very important because, of course, we want to. A lot of kids can't go to Armenian schools. However, it doesn't mean that they're not Armenian. But of course, like I wish that it was a little bit on the older side.
Yes,
I do speak it, but anchab lav chem khosiv, of course. But yes, that is a wonderful program.
Yes.
And I know that you have a lot of wonderful programs. And truly, I do wish all the organizations, especially the Armenian Relief Society, because we do need it. You know, in order for us to keep our Armenian heritage, of course, we need to educate not only the adults, but we need to educate and be there for the kids, because that is our future. Eventually, you know, our kids are going to be, you know, the ones that are going to speak out and remember the Armenian genocide, which I have to really say that I'm very proud of a lot of the organizations like AYF, the UYA, that are so involved with the candlelight. Yesterday we were at the Glendale High School where all the Armenian kids were performing at the Glendale High School. It was an amazing performance. Crescenta Valley, Glendale High School, I mean, all Jefferson, all the schools came, Armenian kids, and they put the whole program together. And I even asked, I said, you know, is there anybody that organizes? They're like, no, it was all the kids.
Yes.
So that's our future.
Yes. And this is the answer that we have given to anybody who tried or trying to annihilate us or to destroy us. We come back and we tell them we are the survivors, we are the descendants of the Armenian genocide.
Very true.
And we are surviving. And we're thriving. Not only surviving, we're thriving. And
as long as we're one, as long as we're one and we're united. And this is another thing that I wanted to mention that I really enjoyed, and I was so heartily wanting to do this. For example, SARF. I was so excited that when I asked Mr. Zaven Hanjan that I wanted to do something like this, it was all the Armenian organizations coming together. And I hope that always does continue, not just for Save Kesab, but for everything, for all of us.
We're very hopeful.
Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all are Armenians.
Yes.
We do strive for one purpose, and our goal is one.
Yes.
We don't have many other goals. So all of us coming together, of course, will be stronger and be defeatful.
Yes.
And
You're
I
right.
truly do wish that on, let's say again, on May 2nd, Friday evening, is a gala at Taglian Banquet Hall. And also on May 3rd, Saturday, at the Glendale Hilton. I hope that you will come to the gala and also to the seminar for the empowerment seminar, which the speakers are going to be exceptional.
Yes.
And then I have to say thank you. I really, in your busy schedule, I know that it was very difficult for you to be here, but thank you. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
I know that ARS is very lucky to have somebody like you.
Thank
all
you.
your members are wonderful and all your coworkers. So thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
on the
for
show.
inviting me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for watching Lights on LA. And please don't forget on April 29th also at the Alex Theater, 7 p.m. Please reserve your seats at itsmyseat.com or at ticketmaker.com or 818-265-0506. Good night and thank you for watching.
The ARS of Western USA kicks off its 3-day celebration of its 30th anniversary with a gala on Friday, May 2nd at Taglian Cultural Complex, featuring the Glendale Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Maestro Michael Avedisian. Join us to highlight our mission of service from social services to counseling to Saturday schools and scholarships, locally and far away in Armenia, Artsakh, Javakh, and war-torn Syria. On Saturday, May 3rd at the Glendale Hilton Hotel, the ARS Empowering Generations Seminar starts with Armenianism in a Changing World, with presentations by Alice Petrosyan and Roxanne Makashyan. Get Moved by Anna Turkot and Dr. Chris Sasuni, who describe their search of Armenian roots, and Personal Journeys of Survival by Cynthia Kelian, Sona Arabian, and Dr. Haigush Kalinian. On Sunday, enjoy a pleasant day in Long Beach. Reservations are required.
Սիրիահայության օժանդակության միացյալ մարմինը ներկայացնում է հանուն Քեսապի փրկության բարեգործական համերգ ապրիլի 29-ին Ալեքս թատրոնում։ Սիրիահայությանը իրենց արվեստով այդ օրը հովանավորում են համերգին մասնակից բոլոր արվեստագետները։ Մեր ներկայությամբ սատար կանգնենք հայոց բնօրրանից տեղահանված Քեսապի հայությանը։ Հայը պետք է վերադառնա իր դարավոր հողը։ Հայը պետք է հավերժ բնակվի իր պապենական հողի վրա։ Հանուն Քեսապի ապրիլի 29-ին երեկոյան ժամը 7-ին Ալեքս թատրոն։ Գլխավոր հովանավոր Glendale Kia.